Well, good morning folks, welcome to the Old Classic Car Channel and a bright and breezy Bicester Heritage for the April 2024 Bicester Scramble. We are here in the MX-5 as you can see, and there are all manner of cars pouring in. It's still fairly early, so this field is going to fill up. This is the forward parking area for slightly older cars, and there's always a huge turnout, so we'll make sure we have a good wander around the public car park before we're done here today. But yeah, I think we're set fair for a fantastic Bicester Scramble. Everywhere you look there are just beautiful cars. We had a puncture en route, had to change the wheel. Looking particularly purposeful. Beautiful, beautiful car. Yeah, well those will do very, very nicely. A Radford converted Mini Cooper no less. And a VW Thing. There goes a little Fiat 128. Croker was collected from the prison by his young lady friend. Beautiful leather driving gloves here in the Ferrari. Fantastic little Morris J2 based catering vehicle over here. Fantastic.
That's the thing.
Fantastic little Morris Minor Traveller here, just on the end of the row, on a B registration, so that makes it 1964. Looks like a really good user, very original looking that one. Apologies for any shadows, but the sun's quite low at the moment this time of day, so yeah, I'll do my best. Hopefully you can hear me. It's a very, very breezy day, so this could be a bit of a challenge for the microphone, but we will soldier on and see how we get on.
Discussing what the wheels are and
As always at one of the Bicester Scrambles there's a real mix of modern supercars, sports cars, vintage and classic cars, and it is the latter that we will be ogling today here on the Old Classic Car Channel. And here we have a stunning vintage Bugatti no less. What a cracker that is. I think we'll have to have a closer look. What a beautiful dashboard. Many of these old Bugattis have like a turned dashboard. This one has a plain metal one, but there's the original dealer supplier plaque. J. Lemon Burton of London in England, Bugatti engineers. What a cracker that is. Not too shiny. We don't do too shiny here on this channel. Beautiful Marshall lamps on the front as well. Very, very similar to those on Big Dodge, because in the 1950s the old truck was upgraded with a pair very similar to that. There's an apparent improvement over those originally fitted by Dodge over in Detroit. But yeah, what a cracking car this is. Oops, shadows. Fantastic pre-war Riley here, bit of a work in progress. Now what model is this? I'm guessing a Kestrel. I'm sure someone watching this will know for sure. Someone who knows their pre-war Rileys better than I do. Very, 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 very nice pre-war saloon. Just look at the lines, the shape. Oops, there's my hand. What a fantastic shape that is. Have a quick peer in, not sure if you can see through the window. I can just about make out the pre-selector gear change lever on the side of the steering column there. There it is. Riley were real exponents of pre-selected gearboxes at this time, just like Daimler and Manchester, Armstrong, Siddeley. Yeah, what a cracker that is. Bristol over here. Any Bristol fans in the house, let me know in the comments. I've got a feeling those rear lights are shared with something Roots Group. Maybe a Super Minx or a Vogue, something like that. Again, I'm sure someone watching this will know for sure. What a beautiful car that is. I never noticed these vents in the rear wing. Sometimes you see them in the front wing, but the spare wheel is hidden behind that panel that opens up, and the spare wheel is hidden in there. My youthful assistant has already disappeared, exploring, looking for interesting old cars to feature on his car traction channel. Maybe he'll be over there looking at some McLarens, maybe he'll be here looking at this beautiful Porsche. Let's have a look over here. Still early doors, it'll be a lot busier than this before the day is through. Got an Alpha GTV, probably a 2 litre. Very nice indeed. I'm guessing it's not the V6. Yeah. Very handsome looking machine these, I do like these. Quite small, interesting small quarter lights on these as well. If you saw the video I put live only a week or so back, you may well recognise this Bristol 400. This is the thumbnail for the video I did at Alton Park of the Flying Scotsman Historic Rally. And this is just one of the 66 cars that were entered for that particular event. And here it is today. A very distinctive registration number, that's how I know we're looking at the same car. So at least now we get a chance to have a proper close look at this fantastic car. The design very much inspired by pre-war BMWs. This is post-war, about 46, 47, somewhere around that kind of date. But I just think the styling of these things is just stunning. Of course, Bristol Aircraft Company, I'm not quite sure of the official name, but very much a name from aviation's past. And that's what inspired these beautiful wind-cheating flowing lines on the Bristol 400. What a cracking looking car that is. The Bristol 2 litre, as it was called at the time. Beautiful, just the way, all the wings and everything. There's no unsightly panel joins or anything ugly like that. It's all blended into one. You've got a join down here, but no joins across here. Around the front, just beautiful wind cheating design. There we go, Bristol 2 litre. Split windscreens, as was pretty common at the time, thinking of the cars like even the Morris Minor. The technology to produce curved windscreens wasn't yet fully developed at this point in time. Interesting, it's got sliding door glasses as opposed to wind-up windows. So-called suicide doors, rear hinged, but you'll note no actual visible hinges. Often in cars this age you'll see like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 sets of hinges on the hinge pillar, but no, these are all hidden away, which is just real quality detailing on cars like this, and that's why I think they are just fantastic. What a beautiful shape. Interestingly, see the spare wheel cover doesn't quite fit. I'm assuming the modern radial tyre that's in there is just a little bit chunkier than the old cross-ply tyre that would have been in there originally. But yeah, what a treat to see that here on this beautiful sunny morning. Next to that stunning Bristol we have an Elvis 1250, I do believe. Clearly this one is used in various competitive events. Interesting. It's got a towing post, a tow ball on the front there, presumably for dragging out of ditches on off-roading, trials, that kind of thing. Nova Scotia to Alaska, 2017, 2018. Beautiful aluminium body on this one. Everywhere you look, there are just beautiful cars, and they don't get much more beautiful than the Jaguar Mark II. What a cracker that is. 3 engine sizes were available, 2.4, 3.4 and 3.8. What are we looking at here? It's got the cutaway Coombs style rear arches on this one. Lovely wooden steering wheel, manual overdrive. I'm guessing 3.8. What a beautiful shape. Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't say. It's the first time I've seen a badge that doesn't show the engine size. Maybe we're looking at an electric conversion. Not something I will dwell on too much in this particular video, but I think that may be a subject that I will return to in another video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video about electric conversions on classic cars. Well, this is a beauty. This is. I don't think there's an electric motor in this one, but I'd be interested to know what engine size is in it. Maybe it's got a 4.2 in it. Hence the badge delete, keeping you guessing. Who knows? Maybe we'll look up that registration number on DVLA and see what size engine this one has. It's clearly had a few mods, a few modifications. I've got a beautiful set of twin pipes out of the back. Like I say, the cutaway rear arches. Later seats with headrests for a little added comfort. I wonder if it's still got the original Moss manual gearbox in there. I wonder if it's been upgraded. Yeah, what a beautiful car in a stunning metallic blue colour. Oh, we've just found the owner. He's just appeared, and apparently this has the 3.4 litre version of the XK engine. So we can have a quick peek inside. And gentlemen, there's a trimmer by trade. Go on, what name's the business?
It's GB Classic Trim.
GB Classic Trim.
And we're based in Nuneaton in Warwickshire.
Nuneaton, right. So you retrimmed this, did you?
Yes, this
Wow.
is a full retrim.
Wow.
Yeah, and full restoration bare metal.
Yeah. Wow, let's come and have a look around the other side as well. Let's have a quick chat.
The Curicos blue exterior colour.
The Curicos blue, right?
Yeah, and the sky blue interior.
It's fantastic.
So it's
isn't
not back to standard Jaguar colours, but
the Curicos is part of Jaguar's history, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
did you buy it done, or did you have to do everything? Or
no, it's a complete rebuild.
is it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit showing its age, was it, when you found
It
it?
certainly was. Yes.
So have you had it a long time? Or?
Yeah, I've had it about 10 years now.
Oh right.
Yeah,
right,
10 years. And a lot of welding of the crow's feet, which normally go on the Mark II.
Yeah.
Some of the sills and inner sills,
All the usual.
all the usual.
They often go around where the side lights are on top of the wings, where they're leaded on, don't they?
Correct, they do, yes.
So it's sort of round here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you often see them starting to separate around here where
Yes.
where they're leaded on, aren't they? But no, that's a beauty, that is. Yeah. So do you get to do a lot of trimming on classic stuff, vintage cars?
We are a main dealer of Jaguar in the main, going from the C-Type, D-Type, E-Type, all the XKs, and that's our speciality.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Splendid. Oh, it's a beautiful promotional tool then, isn't it?
Indeed. Yeah.
That's a beauty. Oh, thanks for telling us a little bit more about it.
Pleasure, thank you.
And what do we have over here? Beautiful Aston Martin DB24, early 1950s. What a fantastic car that is. Yep, DB24, this one. No badging to say so, but that's what we're looking at. DB, David Brown. He of the David Brown tractors. By this point in time, he owned Aston Martin and did so for many years, hence the DB appearing on so many of their beautiful cars. But just a stunning car. Yeah, such a variety of cars here. Obviously we'll try and show a little bit of everything that prioritise the older cars. So Daimler based on the Series 2 Jaguar XJ. So we're looking at a 4.2 and we're looking at a V12. Pretty hard to tell from here, but either way, a beautiful example of a Series 2 Daimler, and it is for sale. There we go, XJ6, Series 2, 1975, 3.4 auto, offers around 5,000. That doesn't seem bad. Long wheelbase, nearly all of the Series 2 XJs were long wheelbase. Of course, they were very prone to rusting even after a fairly short time, so you always want to have a good poke around the rear wheel arches, make sure there's a seam down here, because often that seam disappears, that one there, if people just fill over it. But this one looks pretty presentable. Sovereign, of course they didn't actually call them XJs, the Daimler versions. Yeah. Quite a tidy car, it's had rear arches at some point. But I think most of them probably have by now, and it's quite unusual having, you probably can't see actually, but it's got the cloth interior. Of course the 3.4s were the sort of the entry level model, I suppose. You had the 3.4 and the 4.2, those are the two versions that you had of the 6-cylinder XJs, and of course there was the V12, the 5.3. But not that many of them, probably even back in the day, had the cloth trim. And now they are very, very rare. Some of them even had wind-up windows, keep-fit windows. I can't see this one. I'm guessing it's probably got the electric windows. Yeah, quite unusual to see that trim. Oh, nice run around. Got a 250 SL Mercedes, the old pagoda roof Mercs. Just the quality, the fittings, all chromed fittings. I know if you open those doors, all the striker plates and everything are all chromed on these as well. Real quality bit of kit. MBZ 67, the registration number. Yeah. Two very eye-catching classic cars. Right, let's carry on. We've got an Alfa Romeo Giulia here, the little saloon, little twin-cam saloon, 4-door. Who remembers these in the Italian Job, the original Italian Job film? As driven by the Italian police in hot pursuit of the 3 Mini Coopers and so on. Yeah, Giulia 1300 Ti on an H plate, so about 1970 I would have thought, something like that. Left-hand drive. What a great little car that is. I know Harley's going to like that one. A TR7 drop head, or could it be a TR8? Probably not. Yeah, TR7. It's a fairly late one on a W plate, Canley built. The early cars were built over at Speke on Merseyside. And here, Ford Fiesta Mark II Popular Plus. Pop Plus, I think. Passenger door mirror, I bet, is the Popular Plus fitting. The even more basic one than that probably didn't even have that. Yeah, great to see your regular cars so well looked after. Everyone preserves the sporty ones and the luxury versions, but sometimes it's really great just to see the cars that we all remember growing up with, and that's why it's fantastic to see this really, really clean Fiesta here today, parked alongside an Aston Martin DB6, just for a little bit of contrast there. Another Aston, that one's on a 66 registration, past a Subaru. And we've got a Mark 1 MX-5, or possibly a Unos import on a J plate. I think we're parked in the wrong area, we should have parked here. Looks like it sees a bit of action, this one. Quite handy for track days, I imagine. It's got a roll cage in it. It's quite an unusual roof arrangement. Keeps the worst of the rain off, I guess. That's a Unos, so this is a Japanese market import. The Unos Roadster, slightly different back panel compared to ours. And just the number plate's a different shape, and also usually they have an aftermarket fog light fitted on the back. This Dodge Challenger followed us in this morning. A huge car. The old muscle car again, about 1969, 1970. A real gaggle of interesting badges on the front. All sorts of things there. Automobile Club de Suisse. Yeah. The Dodge Challenger. Who remembers the Dodge Challenger in Vanishing Point? Real mixture of cars. We've got a Mustang over here, Bullet Spec Mustang, same colour as the car that Steve McQueen drove. Of course, this one's on a 67 registration. There's a Morgan over there, probably a +8 I suspect. Let's carry on over here, let's keep going. What a beautiful day, just a slight breeze, sun's out, blue sky. And over here, Volvo 240 GL, complete with GLT alloy wheels. Great regular use, classic, modern classic. Toyota MR2 over here, mid-engine. This is the Mark II version of the MR2, I had to think then. Next to the TR7. Well, actually these are growing on me, the shape of these I think. It's actually a nice looking car. Nothing like that being built nowadays either. Where have all the sporty coupes gone? I do not know, answers on the postcard. Right, so we've got the 240. Got a Porsche Speedster down here. Could be a recreation, could be real, but either way, a beautiful car on a day like this. And I know this is probably the car that Mrs. OCC will be taking home with her. Yep, it's on a K plate, so this will be a recreation, probably a Beetle platform. But what a fantastic job someone's done of that. Yeah, Chesil, there you go. And over here, recreation of the old Lotus 11. That looks like a bit of a hoot. Next to the Westfield 5 Series over there, M5. Hadn't. I remember many years ago, someone told me that it was the original Lotus 11 in a scrapyard, hidden under a mountain of old tyres in the building, in the corner of this particular scrapyard. I tried to find out where this scrapyard was, but I never did track it down. So whether it was just sort of rumour, urban legend, I'm not quite sure, but to find one of those in a scrapyard somewhere in Manchester would have been pretty special. This was over 20 years ago, probably getting on for 30 years ago. Someone told me about this, but it could have just been a made up story, but it seemed pretty genuine at the time. But yeah, what a lot of fun that must be. I'm intrigued by this BMW estate, the M5 registration number, M5 on the door. Is this an M5 wagon? Based on the E39 5 Series. Well, it's all badged up as M5, you've got all the exhausts at the back. So that's actually quite a special car. That would be a lot of fun, that would. Last good looking 5 Series, as I've said on many, many occasions. But to have a wagon version of the M5, now that must be unusual. Lotus Elise, hotly pursued by Morris Mine 1000. So let's go and have a look over here. We've done that bit. Citroen Traction Avant, part of the Starter Motor scheme, based here at Bicester Heritage. Starter Motor is encouraging new people, young people, to get into the world of classic cars, running and maintaining and restoring them. And this car is part of that scheme, the Traction Avant, the Light 15. Must be a few pigeons in the area, I suspect. Yeah, there you go, the fact file. There we go, 1954, 1303 cc. Wow. Are you under 25? You could be eligible to drive this car. To find out, email. There you go. Yeah, what a beauty that is. Lovely French car. I say front wheel drive, traction of all. Really, really tasty. What a beautiful shape. Can we see inside? Just about. Again, see the rear door hinges there. Suicide doors at the front. Exposed hinges. And that's the detail that I was pointing out on that Bristol 400, just over the back there. But that is lovely. SLE 407, it's a right-hand drive, so I'm guessing this is a Slough built one. Let's have a look at the badge on the front, the chevrons on the grille, because they're different. Yeah, so as well as being right-hand drive, the other way of telling that we're looking at a Slough built traction is the fact that the chevrons on the grille are behind the vertical grille slats. On the French built cars, the left-hand drive cars, those chevrons, the two chevrons, are on the outside of the vertical slats. So that's another way of identifying a car. If you see one driving towards you and you can't see if it's left or right-hand drive. What a cracker that is. S-type Jaguar over here, probably the V6. Let's have a look. 3 litre V6, yeah. Again, starter motor fleet. 3 litre V6, same engine as fitted to Dad's XJ, the X350 XJ. The Riley 1.5. This is a car that Dad went on his honeymoon. Well, Mum and Dad went on their honeymoon in. He had a puncture en route, had to change the wheel. But yeah, Dad used to have a maroon one of these. Twin carburetors, 1500cc BMC engine. Really good little cars to drive. The rack and pinion steering of the Morris Minor under there. The floor pan, the underpinnings are really based on the Morris Minor, and that was quite an advanced car for its day. The Moggy came out in 1948, of course this is much later. RTT, so that's a Devon area registration somewhere down there, because RA40 is FTT. And that was supplied by Pike and Sons of Exmouth. I think it was, not Exeter, yes, definitely Exmouth. So this car started its life somewhere down in Devon. And I do like these. There's those A40 backlights that I've pointed out before. The earlier 1500s and the Wolseley 1500 didn't have, they had much smaller lights on them. But these ones are lifted off the A40 Farina. Oh, very clean little car. Right, so let's carry on over here. We have Singer 9 Sports. Very similar to the Singer 9 Le Mans. The sporty Singer Le Mans. Certainly from the front they look very similar. The only real giveaway is the Singer Le Mans has the sort of the two humps on the scuttle. They're sort of there and there. There we go, Singer 9 Sports. Very nice. Often you see these, or the Le Mans, used in sort of VSCC trialling, and they often have twin wheels on the back. That's another sign that you'll tend to be looking at a Singer rather than a very similarly styled MG. Let's carry on over here. The little Austin 7 box saloon, a fabric bodied Austin 7. Although technically these should have been called the Austin 8s, but I think we'll leave that for another video. 1929 750cc. Well, 747 really. But yeah, really, really nice car. So what year is that? It'll say on that thing, won't it? About 30ish. 29, there we go. Yeah, lovely little car, and again, part of the starter motor fleet here at Bicester Heritage. So what else have we got? Got a Lotus 7 here. Very nice series. Well, it's on a G plate. So I'm guessing that's a Series 3, but someone who knows their Lotus 7s will be able to tell me for sure. Elise there, and an Alvis over here. So what are we looking at here? Is it 1250, 1260? Slightly bigger than the 1250. 1933. Yeah, that's beauty, that is. Looks like an older restoration. Yeah. This, I think, is the one that, if I was under 25, this is probably the one that I would try and pick if I could possibly do so. But to be honest, any of them would be fantastic to have on a loan basis. Series 1 E-Type here, 67. So it's probably 1.5, Series 1.5. Let's see if it's a 4.2. Let's have a look at the back.
And everything else is good?
Yep. Yeah, the 1.5 had a slightly larger engine. But still, the beautiful slim lights of the Series 1. The Series 2 lights at the front and back were much clunkier, in my opinion. So the 1 and the 1.5, yeah, just lovely. MG Midget here. What's that? It's on an H plate, so beginning of the 1970s. I'm not sure. Maybe that applies to something else. A Flatrad Morgan here. The Riley over here. Is this the Sprite? I always forget this one. Flying Scotsman. I think we saw this one on the Rally just a few days ago at Alton Park, the Flying Scotsman Rally. Great to see that one here today. Subaru there. Let's keep going over here and see what other gems we can see. So we've got a Bentley here, 3 litre Bentley with the boat tail bodywork on it. Look at that. Oh, beautiful craftsmanship going on there. You really do see a bit of everything at this particular event. And back to Austin 7s and a fantastic little van. Regulars to the channel will know I do like commercials and big commercials, but little vans and pickups, yes. Really great little thing. Not much weather protection for the driver and his or her mate in there. There's a spare wheel behind the seat. Tiny load area, but it beats walking. We've got controls on here, so I'm assuming that's a hand throttle. And this one is the advance and retard. You can just see the A. So you can manually control the ignition timing from the driver's cockpit. This is earlier than the other Austin 7 we were looking at because it's still got the lamps up on the scuttle. That's a sign that you're looking at an earlier Austin 7. Transverse leaf spring front suspension. Just like the Model T, 1929 C-cab van. Oh. Another Austin 7 here, looks like an Ulster replica. So look, Austin 7 Ulster Sports, 1934. Lots of replica ones of these around. This could be a replica, could be a genuine one. So named because of the successes in the, I think it was the Ulster Grand Prix, I think. That's back in the day. These were actually in the Austin sales brochures. They were called the EA Sports. They were never called Ulsters. That's just a name that kind of stuck. Phenomenal Aston Martin here. What a beauty that is. So Aston's old and not so old. What do we have over here? I think we saw this coming in on the Transporter before. A Dino 246. Usually badged up as a Ferrari. Although at the time, well, this one isn't. So even though it's made by Ferrari, they were actually sold as Dinos. This is a 246, looking particularly purposeful. We're back to E-types for a moment. Another Series 1, this time a fixed head coupe. It's on a 67 registration, so this will be another Series 1.5. Note the 3 wiper arrangement on these cars. RX Sport Spec MGB also had that kind of setup on it. You know, left-hand drive. This will be a 4.2 again. Yep. The first Series 1s were 3.8. That engine made its debut in the XK120 of 1948. Ooh, we've got a bit of PA testing in the background. Another Aston over here. 1936 Aston Martin Speed model, it says, so we'll go with that. A couple of beautiful Astons here today, enjoying the sunshine at the Bicester Scramble. Yeah. Curie Bertelli, very well known company in the world of vintage Aston Martins. Yeah, what a treat to see all these on the lawn here. 3 litre Bentley, Austin 7s, Astons, Ferrari Dino, Jaguars, Subaru rally car, and this fantastic, very patinated Riley just parked over here.
We've got engine rebuilders, restorers, race car engineers and designers who are all part of our cohort of ambassadors. Right, brilliant.
Right, so let's wend our way over here past a pretty special looking Audi. But what I really want to look at, guess what? Now this one was at the NEC. I seem to remember seeing this one in the barn find display, no less, at the NEC. Good grief, that one's lived a bit of a life. So this would be an MM. This is a highlight MM. The first MMs had the lower headlights down next to the grille, but this is sort of 51, 52, somewhere around about there. Shortly before the Series 2 came along, which looked very similar, still with the cheese grater grille. But yeah, and I remember in particular all the guano on the roof. Bring back Barney. But everything is available for Morris Miners. Floors, sills, you can buy everything. This is a 4-door car. Wow. 1952. Same year as the MM that we had just a few years ago. Ours was dark blue. This one is varying shades of grey and brown. Not all barn finds are stored in the dry. A little bit crusty in places. Will it live again? Will that 918cc side valve engine, as fitted to the Series E before this, roar back into life and take this Moggy back down the road again? Who knows? What does the future hold for this incredible Morris Miner?
So it won't go very fast. I feel like driving it slowly. Yeah. And someone will take on. Yeah, just that changeover where they start.
Still on its original cross-ply tyres.
When they start to move them out to the rings, so there's some sense of
Over here we've got a Riley Elf that's been given the Mini Cooper treatment. Bit of tweaking, period Dunlop alloy wheels there, same as those fitted to my uncle's GTM back in the 1970s. GTM was a little mini-based kit car. Oh, that's pretty neat. Little Austin over here, little Austin 10 Clifton, a 2-door drop head coupe, again starter motor, one of their fleet. The Beamer there, M5 E39, and over here S-Type Jaguar, very nice too. This was an evolution of the Mark II, slightly more market version I suppose of the Mark II. Similar styling, although it's got these sort of hoods over the headlights, and these sort of indicators that wrap around as well, so that's all different. But the main differences are when you get round the back. It's got a much longer tail on it compared to that Mark II that we were looking at before. And importantly, these had independent rear suspension. So by all accounts they drive even better than the Mark II. These are available either with a 3.4 or the 3.8 litre engine, manual overdrive or automatic. I'm not sure which one this is, but either way, what a great thing to cruise around in. That would be that beautiful XK engine purring away under the tapering bonnet there at the front. Beautiful cars those are. Right, let's carry on past the M5, the E39 series M5. What's this much modified MGB Roadster over here? It's got the Dunlop wheels on it, similar to those fitted to the lightweight E-types back in the 1960s. Yep, Dunlop centre lock wheels. Many gauges. Oh, beautifully turned out MGB. Very, very nice too. Let's carry on down here. MGTF. What's that? Is that one of those Ineoses? That's one of those Ineos Grenadiers. TVR, I think this one passed us on the motorway. Of course, there's a reminder today. It's Drive It Day, where everyone is encouraged to take their old cars out and about on the road and get them out and about and seen. Porsche Carrera here. Let's go over here past the Audi R8 and the V8s or V10 versions of those are available, but this fantastic Cobra on the end here. 427. Centre lock wheels, the spinners wired on. Is this a real one? I don't know. But either way, fantastic looking car based on the 427. Look at the size of the tyres on the back. That would certainly blow the cobwebs out on the morning. What a fantastic backdrop these old wartime buildings are. On the end here, Series 3 Land Rover no less. Super clean, restored example. Little perspex blocks for sliding the windows, just like those fitted, or very similar to those on our A40 and on A35s, that kind of thing. Luxurious seating in the rear compartment. All the mod cons in this Shropshire registered Series 3 Landy. Now we're approaching Raleigh Corner, this section of the Bicester site, but here Bugatti, very very nice too. Another example of the vintage Bugatti. There's the Magneto providing the sparks in the middle of the dash there to keep, presumably to keep the weather off it, I guess. So which one are we looking at here? Type 35. Again with Marshall lamps, so it's a Type 35A, the supercharged one. Hence the little hole in the side of the bonnet panel. The regular Type 35s don't have that hole in the bonnet, but this is a 35B, isn't it? Type 35B, not A. These fantastic cast aluminium wheels there. Beautiful, beautiful car. Let's have a quick look at the dash.
And now it's in Italian.
It's Italian, okay, yeah. So it's like the same as the French style. Oh, that's cool.
Great. Guess I'll go grab a coffee then.
Time for a coffee, time for a burger.
Lovely to meet you.
We've lost Johnny.
You can see how the brake drums are cast with the wheel.
Shall we make our way over to
Again, Marshall lamps. What a glorious bit of kit that is. Centre spinners wired on to keep them in place. You don't want those coming off. The Flying Scotsman 2023. We didn't get a chance to film that one. Oh, what a cracker that is. So let's keep going, see what else we can see here today at the Scramble meeting. E-type fixed head, another Series 1.5. Very swish indeed. Pretty mad looking Morgan here. Alpha, one of the 105 series Alfa Romeos. Which one's this? 1750 on the J. There was also the 2000 GTV. This is a 1750 GTV, GT Veloce. How cool does that look with those lamps on the front? Very, very nice. It's got the strap on the front in case it needs pulling out of a ditch somewhere. Yeah, lovely cars, clap hand wipers. Clearly well used, this one. What a stunning car that is. Just love how the tail sort of wraps around. And alongside, the mighty fin-tail era Mercedes. This one, a 230. There were various different engine options offered with these. Some diesel, some petrol. And look at this.
Oh yeah.
This one's very well travelled. Paris all the way to Peking, the Paris to Peking, recreating a very famous road race of the early 1900s. although whoever drove this one did it in a lot more comfort than those pioneer motorists did over 120 or so years ago. I drove the Alaska Highway. Blimey, this has been everywhere, this has. I must admit, Mercedes were on my shortlist when we were toying the idea of buying a longer distance car, maybe a Fintail or one of the slightly later cars, but yeah, one of those will do very, very nicely. Raised ride height to cope with all the rough conditions that it must have encountered on so many historic rallies. Very, very nice. And alongside it, somewhat lower, there's this Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1, the old Frog Eye Sprite, or Bug Eye Sprite, as our American cousins tended to refer to them back in the day. More Alfa Romeo goodness over here. Let's have a look around the back. Let's cheat to see which model we're looking at here. The GT 1600 Junior. So this is a 16. There was also the 1300 version to the Junior as well. Yeah, it's not often you see one in grey. It makes a nice change. Delta Integrale rally car, the Martini liveried Delta Integrales. I remember these taking part in World Rally Championship events. Got a couple of moderns over there. Yeah, let's go and have another look at that fixed head E-Type over here. Try not to get in anyone's way. Lovely, lovely series. Usually these are badged up as 4.2 on the back. Yeah, what a beauty that is. Fraser Nash BMW. Let's have a look in here, see what we've got. Past a couple of Fiat 500s, the beautiful little rear engine Fiat 500s. So what do we have over here? 328 BMW, but I'll look at Fraser Nash BMW, yeah. Fraser Nash were importers of BMWs back in the day. Got a 911 Carrera, Porsche 356 Coupe, Carrera no less. E-Type with a Porsche over there. What's this magnificent machine over here? An AC. Very, very nice indeed. MGA 3-litre Bentley parked over here, looking very, very smart indeed. Alongside this wall of rally plaques. TR4A 1966. I'll have here a little Ferrari, one of the little Dinos. Is that the GT4? I'm sure someone will correct me. Mark II Morris Cooper S. Alright, so let's keep going, it's a bit busier now. Nice doggy. Right, let's go over here. We've got an E36 Cabriolet. I haven't seen my youthful assistant for a while. So it's a 3 Series 4-seater Cabriolet. Look at this beauty. So what age is this Chevrolet? I like the mascot on it. I'm not sure what that's off. Clearly converted for long distance road rallying. Very similar to a car that Juan Fangio, the famous racing driver, he cut his teeth on long distance road rallies in cars just like this. German registered. .911 Carrera from the mid-90s, and over here an Alfa Romeo Montreal no less. Have I seen one in that colour before? Not sure, 1967, early 67 registered. This particular Montreal left-hand drive, I think they were probably all left-hand drive. These very distinctive hoods over the headlights. Alloy wheels. Got 911 hiding away in here, left-hand drive as well. Bit of everything. Pretty cool interior, unless you're sat in the back, of course, in which case, not quite so cool perhaps. But as long as you're sat in the front, you're good to go. The all-electric McMurtry. Check out the footage of one of these running at the Festival of Speed a little while ago. Pretty bonkers cars. Anyway, back to the old stuff. Got a McRae era Focus rally car now. Carlos Sainz, Louis Moya, co-driver. Let's go down along here. The Armstrong Siddeley, looking very swish indeed. But this is what I wanted to look at. This is, wow, the Daimler. No, is this? I think this is the Majestic Major, the V8. Slightly bigger boot compared to the regular Majestic. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's the V8. You can see it's the V8 because it's got the V set into the front panel here. So you had the regular Majestics, which had a 3.8 litre straight six, but this is the bigger again, Majestic Major, 4.5 litre V8 engine, Edward Turner design. These are fantastic. These will crack 120 miles an hour back in the day. Absolutely amazing car. I was sorely tempted with a couple of Daimler Majestics over 30 years ago. They were dumped behind an old mill in Macclesfield in Cheshire. One of them was a regular Majestic, the 3.8 straight six, and one of them was one of these, the Majestic Major. Sadly, they were pretty rotten, and to be honest, most of them have already rotted away by now or been bang erased, so this is quite a rare survivor now, but these were beautiful. Edward Turner, he of motor racing fame in the pre-war years, motorcycle racing rather, fame in the pre-war years. He also designed the smaller V8s that went into the Daimler Dart and the V8 250, but this was his crowning glory, the 4.5 litre V8 engine. What a bit of kit that is. When Jaguar bought out Daimler, story goes, the engine out of one of these was tried in a Mark 10, and apparently it would blow the doors off a regular Mark 10, which William Lyons wasn't too keen on, so they halted production of the Majestic and the Majestic Major. But yeah, real unsung hero of the post-war British car world. Absolutely incredible. There was also the DR450, which was an even longer version, a limousine version of one of these. Was produced in very small numbers, much longer in the wheelbase, but again with the same V8 engine. What a fantastic thing this is. I could just imagine bombing down the motorway in one of these in the 1960s, showing a clean pair of heels to all those upstarts in their sporty little MGs and Triumphs and Sunbeams and so on. This is the sort of car that was beloved of ambassadors, that kind of thing. Again, another reference to the Italian Job, the original Michael Caine Italian Job, when Charlie Croker was collected from the prison by his young lady friend. He was taken away in one of these, a Pakistani ambassador's Daimler V8 Major. So yeah, a bit of a starring role in the Italian Job, but these are just fantastic, and I would be very, very tempted to own one of these. And again, pre-select the gearbox. It may well be that this Daimler is actually for sale, which could be dangerous, as this is opposite to the Motor Shed, purveyor of many, many fine motor cars, including pre-war AC here, probably a 1680 I would have thought. Glorious supercharged MG. That is really, wow, what a glorious little car that is. MG, of course, still around, kind of, although if you think sticking an MG badge onto the back of a Chinese built EV is an MG, well, go for it. But this is a proper MG in my book. MG started out as producing souped up Morrises, like the old bullnose Morrises, that's where they started out. But by the 1930s they were producing fantastic little cars like this. Supercharger hung out the front here, fed by that SU carburettor. What a cracker that is. Isn't that just wonderful? And the main instrument in front of the driver, not a speedometer, but the all-important tachometer, the rev counter. Is there even a speedo? No speedo, just a gigantic tacho right in front of the driver, so there's no missing that. Over rev it at your peril. Oh, what a fantastic thing that is. We've got a power pack here, one of those engine assisted bicycles. That's quite groovy. A lovely AC. What do we decide this is? It's an Elvis. So what's that, a speed 25 maybe? Beautiful drop head coupe bodywork. Alongside that, a little MG racer. And this is a bit of me, this beautiful Humber. Wow. A very stately machine. The radiator's not dissimilar to the one we've got sat in the garage on the workbench. The Morris Cowley here, the old Morris Cowley of the early 1920s. When I was talking about the origins of MG just a moment ago, this is the kind of car that they were upgrading. When MG first started out, MG Morris garages, this is the kind of car they souped up and did their own version of, the old bullnose Morris. Cowleys had 3 stud wheel fixings. The slightly more expensive Oxfords were 5 stud. Just beautiful detailing on this era of car. Simple as you like. Not too many gauges to worry about in here. There is a speedo in this one though, way over to the left over there. These were one of the best selling cars in the 1920s. These were sort of sold really, really well alongside cars from rivals such as Austin. But yeah, 2-wheel brakes. Fantastic Shell 2-gallon petrol can on the running board there. 3 shillings. That 3 shillings was a returnable deposit, because before the widespread adoption of petrol pumps and petrol stations for that matter, fuel would often be distributed in cans like this, so you could buy them from regular shops and so on, and you'd hand over an extra 3 shillings as a returnable deposit, so that you were incentivised to return the can once you had topped up the fuel tank of your little car. And many of these are quite collectible now. Let's carry on past the Cobra replica over there. And some bits for sale, lamp, magneto. What's this distributor off here? You can see the internals of the Dizzy. There's the condenser, the rotor arm would fit on there, and you've got your points down the side in there. Books for sale. Oof. Another lovely Marshall lamp. This is quite nice. This black painted lamp is the kind of thing you would have probably fitted on an old van or pickup truck. So that's nice. I like that. Proper mini light wheel. Let's have a quick peek in here. There's always quite a few gems in here. We've got one of the scuttle-fronted, a coal scuttle-fronted Renault, as an NN2 or something like that from the 1920s. I forget what this special is over here. This was here last time, I think. Austin Healey. Jupiter's still here. Great little car built at Idle in Bradford, Yorkshire. Another one of those early Renault NNs. A racing MGA. Another beautiful saloon. That one's been here a little while. And the single seater's been here on at least a couple of occasions that we've been here to Bicester. Austin 7. Just, yeah. Beautiful cars, bit of memorabilia as well. I'm sure Harley will notice those old oil pourers over there on the top of there. Yeah, what a treat. Right, let's carry on. Yeah, this mighty saloon is very nice indeed. Look at that. What a beauty that is. Central partition, so that the people lucky enough to sit in the back didn't have to exchange pleasantries with the driver, the chauffeur in the front, unless they really wanted to, in which case they could slide it open. You've got a bright yellow Triumph Stag burbling its way in. Must stop looking at Daimler. Right, a Rally Prepared Rothman sponsored 911 here. Poking out of the building over the back here, we've got an Alfa Romeo SZ. There's a Gatto-bodied Alfa Romeo of the 1980s. Interesting looking car. Not for everyone perhaps. Funny sort of shape, but very, very 1980s. Let's go in here. Oh, this is the Haggerty building. What do we have over here? An Alfa Romeo GTV, probably a GTV6 I would have thought. Right, let's carry on over here. Lotus Esprit with 007 number plate. Mighty Nissan GTR alongside MGB GT. With the recessed grille. Didn't make too many of those, and a lot of them have been retrofitted with the more popular vertical slatted grille. This is probably a similar age to Dad's. His, I think, is on an L, this is on a K, so 71, early 72, with Webasto roof. Smart car, I can see some of those electric Bugattis in there. What's this one here? Second generation, introduced in 1989. Nice, okay. Wow, so there's a paint finish on this MG. It's very, very eye-catching indeed. Let's carry on over here. And we've got an Alpina 3 Series based on the 323i, the Alpina modified, upgraded. Is this a C1 2.3, I suspect? This is the B6, the 2.8. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's the E21 era of 3 Series BMW, left-hand drive, this example. With the correct alloy wheels, the Alpina alloys on it. Really sharp-looking car, that is. Lotus Esprit Turbo. Porsche Boxster,
2CV van,
little Abarth, Fiat 500 Abarth, engine cover raised, propped open to aid cooling. This is something I thought of doing with our Renault actually. Our little 4CV has got the engine hung out the back just like this. We're probably in a slightly lower state of tune than this little beauty. Right, let's carry on over the back here because I often forget to do this courtyard over the back here, but there are usually some beautiful cars hidden away over here, so we don't want to miss those out. Certainly do my 10,000 steps in a day when we come here. Alright, let's keep going. Got a modern Beamer. Let's keep going. Jaguar. But yeah, okay, let's. Ooh, Citroen SM. Where did we see one of those recently? The Combermere meet, the video that went live today. There's a beautiful Citroen SM turn up there, so we're going to have a look at that one in a minute. We've got a Riley over here. The Jensen Healey, the Lotus powered Jensen Healey. And a gorgeous Riley on the end here. Now what model are we looking at there? Is it bigger than a Kestrel? So could it be an Adelphi perhaps, something like that? There are so many different variations of pre-war Riley, even models such as the Riley 9 Monaco. So every year or so they change the shape of them a little bit, so it's quite hard if you're not a Riley expert to know exactly what you're looking at, but all I know is it's a beautifully stylish motor car. WP9199. We might have to look up that registration, see if we can find some clues online as to what model it is. There's that Esprit Turbo parking up over there. Series 2 E-Type Roadster, green one just parked over there. Lotus parking up. Ferrari.
Oh, yes.
Those beautiful rolls. J1K. Ferrari. Very swish indeed. Next to the beautiful V12 Ferrari, we have the V6 powered, Maserati powered Citroen SM. It was only last week that we were looking at the maroon example at the Combermere meeting. If you've not seen that video yet, please check that out. It's a breakfast meet held close to the Cheshire-Shropshire border at the Old Piggery Cafe just alongside the Combermere Abbey estate, and there were some fantastic cars that turned up at that particular meet. And on the maroon example that we looked at there, I was getting all excited about beautiful little details such as these mirrors mounted on like a little ball sort of thing there. But yeah, what an incredible looking car that is.
The engineering cost of that.
So carry on along here. More lovely little doggies. There's that Ferrari again. Beautiful V12. Let's carry on over here. But look at this Hillman Super Minx estate. That's very neat. That's a bit of me, that is. Wouldn't that be perfect roundabout? What a great daily user that would be. Let me know in the comments which of the cars that feature in the video here today you would be tempted to own. Which would you own if budget wasn't an issue, and which would you own if budget was an issue? This, I'll be very taken with taking this one home. I must admit, what a beauty that is. So practical. And rare too. Lovely interior, and I hope you can see this. It's in fantastic condition. The old Hillman Super Minx. You can fit some stuff in the back of that. That'd be perfect for going to auto jumbles. And you've got a split tailgate. I never realised that they had a split tailgate, just like a Range Rover. Somewhat earlier than a Range Rover. (1725), the famous Roots Group 1725 engine. It's fitted to so many later examples of the Minx and so on. A version of that engine will also be fitted in the Sunbeam Alpine. This one is a beauty though. Lucas matching spot and fog lamps on the front as well. The Lucas Fog Ranger. I'm not sure what the spot lamp is called. It's still called the Fog Ranger. The E40 at home had one of these fitted on it in the 60s. What a super looking car in fantastic condition. But this is what catches my eye. This beautiful Saab 96, one of the V4 powered cars. Ford of Cologne, Germany supplied the engines for these. That was the replacement for the two-stroke engine that Saab used for so many years. This engine was also fitted to the Saab Sonnet and the 95 station wagon. This one's in beautiful condition. Like the Bristol that we saw before, Saab very much with roots in the aviation industry, aircraft manufacturers of course, and again aerodynamics were all the thing. Saab, just like Bristol, were very keen on employing aerodynamic principles when it came to design of their road cars. And hey, there we go. Beautiful original Saab mud flaps, complete with the silhouette of an aeroplane flying towards you on them. How cool is that? Oh, I like that. Left-hand drive. It's interesting. I wonder where this started out life. Ooh, nice doggies. Oh, what a beauty that is. Okay, another Jaguar Mark II over here. Again with the modified rear arches, 3.8. This is the badge that I was looking for on that other one. So these arches have been actually cut away and remade. So they're different again. Oh, what a handsome bit of kit that is. I love the racing style flip up fuel filler. Very, very nice indeed. Jaguar 3.8 Mark II. Oh, what a beauty that is. Talking of eye-catching Jaguars, we've got another Series 2 XJ over here, this time a Jaguar XJ on the P registration, another long wheelbase XJ. So is this a 6 or a V12? Looks like a 6 because otherwise it'd have a little V on the grille. But there aren't too many giveaways. Visually they were very, very similar. XJ 4.2, beautiful shape, like the Mark II, you know. It's kind of hard to imagine that these were mass-produced cars. You know, these weren't sort of low-volume, low-production, hand-built, craft-built cars. These were mainstream, regular production models, and this was from the era of BL owning Jaguar, which was a pretty dark time for any car maker, to be honest. Oh, it's a lovely-looking car, that is. What I also like is the fact it's still got its original number plates on it. The original Unipart BL era number plates. Lots of people with cars of this age, sort of mid-1970s, attempted to fit the older style silver and black plates, but they often don't look right. But this looks just perfect with a separate raised letters and a reflective background. On a car of the 70s, those just look fantastic. Oh, what a beauty that is. Anyway, let's carry on down here. Porsche 356 Coupe on the end here. What a cracker that is, again built up with historic rallying in mind, presumably. So. Model A Ford Roadster here. What year is this one? Sort of 29-ish, somewhere around there. Great car, great choice for a very practical vintage car. If you want a vintage car, you're not sure what to get maybe for the first time, either an Austin 7 or one of these would be a great choice. Great spare support and very reliable too. Right, let's go over here away from the PA system. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at here. Pretty wild looking. Wowzers. Kind of groovy. Canoe. Alright, so let's carry on over here. See what gems we can find. A bit of an Alpine display here, it would appear. Let's have a look over here. RAF sponsored rally car.
I'll go watch it. Surprise.
Hello.
Did you hear that Lotus thing?
No.
Lotus Can-Am V8
Oh right, no, I didn't see
Racing.
that.
How did you not hear it?
Well, I was probably
It's like a
talking about
V8
something.
with an open exhaust.
Was it?
It's
Oh,
surprised you didn't hear it. It's just like a big Can-Am Lotus.
Oh right. There's a Gordon Keeble driving along over there. And surrounded, yeah, is there? Oh, right. Surrounded by all these modern Alpines, this beautiful A110 of the 1970s. Fantastic little rally cars. Really, really neat little cars. Okay, let's carry on over here. Quite a gaggle of cars over here. An incredible Lamborghini Countach. This 911 Resto mod passed us on the motorway on the M40 and it looked pretty special.
It's great though.
Yeah, it's beauty that is. MGB, Corvette, nice wheel trims. Fiberglass bodywork on these cars. Riley Tourer. Getting into the Riley corner over here. Well, not all Rileys, this is an Elvis. You can tell that because of the hair radiator mascot, as well as the Elvis badges in the middle of the wheels. But yeah, the famous hair, the Elvis hair. Another stunning Riley saloon. Wow, look at that, 6-light coachwork. Beautiful looking car. How aerodynamic and sleek does that look? Yeah, it's beauty, isn't it? Later lamps. What are they off? An MGA or something? Or those little pods. I've seen them before somewhere. 2CV Bamboo edition. Another Aston here, DB24 drop head. That's a handsome son of a gun. Everywhere you look, beautiful cars. The Bentley here. Looks like a 3-litre. Yep.
There's an extra workshop open up there.
Is there?
And there's stuff in it.
Oh, right.
It's got a Gullwing,
Riley.
300 SL Roadster.
Oh, yeah, 2024 Scotsman. I've seen a few of those cars
Yes,
here.
there was.
Have you seen the Bristol?
Rolls-Royce Woody is down there.
Have you seen the Bristol, the
Yeah,
400?
the Bristol's here. There was a Rolls-Royce like coupe.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Rolls-Royce Woody's here.
Is it? Oh, right. Well, look at this very patinated Riley here.
Yeah, I think.
That's
do you remember
lovely,
the
isn't
Gullwing that was at Combermere?
Yeah.
I think that's the one that's in one
Oh,
of
is
these
it over
sheds.
there,
It's
is
really
it?
hidden away, but there's like probably 10 Jaguars, couple of AC Aces,
Right.
all in one shed. It's incredible.
Beautiful patinated finish on this car. Presumably all the structural work's been done, but keeping the bodywork looking original. And that's just a real treat. Lovely to see that.
I mean, there's the Riley Sprites as well. Those were on the Flying Scotsman rallies.
Yeah.
That was the sort of scruffy one and the clean one.
Yes, that's right. Got a little Lagonda here. That's a Rapier. It's like small versions of the Lagonda called a Rapier. My youthful assistant is with me now. Another fantastic Riley over here.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick peer into this workshop. Blue Diamond Riley Services.
I'm going to the end of 99, so I'm going to...
Some amazing cars here today. Let's keep going. Daimler. Quite a low roof line on this Daimler, isn't it? Oh, quite sleek. Yeah, quite a sleek looking machine. Do you see the Daimler Majestic Major?
Oh, I thought it was a Conquest Century.
No, it's a Majestic Major, that V8. Beauty.
That is cool. Is that a quick one?
No. Oh, this
MG over there. Quite a modified MG. Historic karting. Bob Gerrard always used the masterpiece in oil. Bob Gerrard, famous racing driver back in the day. Lucas for dependability. Bob Gerrard, what beautiful sign writing on that one.
You want
What a cracker that is. Yeah. Yeah, let's have a quick peek under the bonnet.
Got a 1275 midget engine.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. 1275 Speedwell on the rocker cover there. Twin SUs. I like the air cleaners. Nice, quite slim air cleaners on there, aren't they? Interesting little special over here. I'm assuming. Well, I don't know. Those wheels are Ford. The instrumentation, the speedo's Ford.
Something weird.
Those are Ford axles, and those are Bellamy 15-inch wheels, which is all the special builders used to fit in the 1950s.
Why don't you look at the badge?
Look at the badge. A buckler. Ah, the buckler. Yeah. They were Ford based. Yeah, Ford pop based. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, used for trials and stuff like that. You can see the transverse front spring, the pop front axle.
So narrow.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? They've got a Stanley Steamer, steam-powered car over here.
I really like this Triumph bike here.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Woody Ragger.
No, it is, yeah. It's an old little Marshall fog lamp, isn't it?
Nice. Done it nicely.
Yeah, it is. Let's have a quick peek in here. The Heritage Skills Academy.
I look in the mirror and see this metal scanning around behind me.
Right, so let's carry on down here, around here. A30 with a 35 grille.
It's an 830.
Yeah. Well, it's got the gutter across the top and the small back window.
It's got 3 rear lights, or 6 I suppose. It's had an extra brake or fog or something put on.
Ford Model A. Cobra replica there. Mercedes 450 SL with hardtop. VW with Danbury conversion. Beautiful landy on the end here with security device on filler cap. Look at that. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Gordon Keebles. I don't think I've ever seen so many Gordon Keebles together in one place.
Lovely things, aren't
What
they?
a treat. Fiberglass bodies, I think these are.
And he very much wants like
A turtle as the badge.
the green one's probably my favourite.
Yeah, it's like an Aston green almost, isn't it?
Like Bristol.
Yeah, it's got the RAC Motorsport members badge on.
This one was parked somewhere else in here. So
Great looking car, Chrysler V8.
it's over there.
Was it?
It's a 327 cubic inch.
Wow. I love the centre lock wheels on these as well.
D-type.
Yes. We can see in this one. Window open.
Look at the fire extinguisher.
A tiny little Bradex fire extinguisher. Very much a contemporary sort of Jensen and that kind of thing. Look at that. 327 cubic inch.
Yeah, it's a bit of everything, isn't it?
Plenty of room for the engine. Quite a compact engine.
Mounted quite far back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cooling going on at the front.
Is this the one that was at Combermere?
Yes, it is.
That's the one that was at Combermere only last weekend. Made to look in the style of the old 2002 turbos. Great looking little car that is. Cars everywhere. Porsche 924, the 6 Series, BMW. We'll go and have a look at those Bentleys afterwards. There's the BMW that we saw driving in just a moment ago. The one that was at Combermere. The Dolomite 1850 HL with sprint alloy wheels fitted. Race prepared Toyota here, Porsche, and this stunning bit of kit on the end here is a LaSalle. These were built by Cadillac. I'm not sure if these were sort of like an entry-level car, maybe slightly lower price point compared to the Caddy, because the Caddy was very much the Rolls-Royce of the American car market at this particular time. So maybe these were introduced as a lower cost option to someone who couldn't quite stretch to buy a Cadillac. That's my guess. But yeah. What an amazing looking car that is. Huge 4-door sedan, although I suppose by the cars of the day.
This is the second one we've only seen, really.
Yeah, we see a black one, don't we, at Western Park.
A Ohio 1941.
Yes. Now this, it's lovely that is, but look at that, 3 Gordon Keebles together. That is just a sight you just don't see. So I love the little David Brown tractor ex-RAF tug. It's always there. Right, let's carry on here. Carrera RSR. A work in progress with this Austin 7 Special. That's quite the body on that, isn't it?
Most of them are just sort of cut off here. Like, did you see the one near the motor shed? You can literally see the dig.
Let's go and have a look over here. I spy a pair of Honda S800s, I think. We've got a Honda S2000. So we've got an Honda S800 fixed head coupe. I need to put my teeth in. But yeah, it's a great looking little car that is. And then we've got the open top version here, tiny little cars. Alpha just burbling its way through. Great pair of classic Hondas there. An E-Type fixed head, Series 2.
Like we said,
Bentley display here.
Just over there behind that. Looking up that curve.
Let's carry on along here. Another much patinated Land Rover. Right. I did see the McMurtry. Oh, there's another one there, isn't there?
That's only got one, I think.
Air raid shelter just in case. It's a pretty bonkers little car. Apparently this is a Porsche 918, so I'll take my youthful assistant's word for it. But I'm actually making a beeline for the XJ over here. The Jaguar XJ40 era of XJ6 on an F plate.
This is a manual.
Is it manual, is it?
It's like a resto mod type thing.
Oh, right.
Split on it.
Right.
But yeah, it's a manual, which is quite interesting.
Right. Looks a bit like the early XJRs. The first XJRs were based on this shape of Jaguar. Yeah, it's quite early with the black panel between the rear lights as well.
Manual XJI.
Yeah.
And the XJ40 shape.
What have we got over here? So there's the Mark II over the back. I was chatting to the owner of that one a few minutes ago. So let's see what else we've got here. Ferrari 308. Volvo Amazon 122S, twin carbs. Do like an Amazon. I won't keep going on about it, but we've had a few of these over the years. Regulars to the channel will have heard that before. Yeah, there's loads of room to work on them.
Is that fuel pump or something down there?
Yeah, that's the fuel pump down there. Twin carburetors, 122S had twin carbs.
Is that air good in the setup?
Yeah, I think so.
Just seemed a bit big.
Always have to check the inner wings of these. There's a box section behind there, and they're very prone to rotting out along there.
I think once you get over
Aston V8. And here we've got the little Daimler, the SP250, again with the Edward Turner design engine, although this, as I said before, is 2.5 litre V8. Whereas the Majestic Major was a whopping 4.5 litre V8. Can you imagine a Majestic Major engine shoehorned into one of these? Fiberglass bodywork, so it probably doesn't weigh a great deal. So that would be a bit of a hoot, I imagine. Let's carry along here past the beautiful SL 107 era, 300 SL. Very nice too. E-type, bonnet raised. Let's have a quick peek in there. Past the in-period Pirelli Cinturato tyres. And my dad's Volvo had those in the 70s. Yeah. Excellent engine accessibility, just like on a GT6. All that huge tip forward front end. Great engine accessibility, really. Triple carburetors, triple SUs. Yeah, the accessibility on these compared to say a Mark II is night and day, the difference. Beautiful, a roadster with hardtop. Well, they always look really nice. They look superb, those hardtops. Some real thoughts gone into the design of that. Same with the rest of the car. Often hardtops can look a little bit odd, but that really complements the shape of the car, I think.
Do you prefer a roadster with a hardtop or a GT or a coupe?
I like the roadster with the hardtop.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's better.
Yeah, I think that's my favourite. Right, so let's carry on down here. There's cars everywhere. There's Series 1 over there. We've got let's just go and have a look over there. The silver one. It looks like a replica of the old racing lightweight E-type. Sterling Moss and Wynne Percy's name on the bonnet. So maybe they did the classic marathon rally or something like that. Sterling Moss, of course, sadly no longer with us. Raced all manner of cars back in the day. Wynne Percy too, very famous name in the world of Jaguar racing. Hot engine smells all around. Oh, what a cracker that is. I think the shape of these is just phenomenal. The lightweight E-types just look fantastic. Somewhat modified Austin Cooper S here. Look at all these plush interior appointments, wooden dashboard, a Radford converted Mini Cooper no less. 10-inch mini light wheels, Austin Cooper S. I love the way that the lamps, one spot and one fog, sort of integrated into the grille rather than just hung off a bracket in front of the grille. It's a Mark 1 that. Yeah, Mark 1. How comfy does that look? It's got the Paddy Hopkirk pedal extension on there as well to make heel and towing a little bit easier in these little cars. But that's a very comprehensively equipped dashboard in this Radford modified Mark 1 Mini. Rare little car, that one. Of course, the twin fuel tanks, one in either rear wing, that was an option on the Cooper S's. Mark 1s with the smaller backlights, Downton badge on the back. Last time I saw one of those was on an MGC GT, a Downton tuned car, at one of the Hopley House car meets that we did a video at just a few weeks ago. Oh, what a little cracker that is.
Festival Speed TV.
MG Maestro no less. We often see various Maestros appear at the Crew Heritage Centre that we often do videos at. 289 Cobra. Another Alvis here, beautiful boat tail Alvis.
Another one just behind it.
Yes.
1250.
Yeah. 1250 you reckon, yeah, probably. Lovely vintage Alvis, beautiful detail. Note there's no door for the driver, so the rear seat passenger on this side has a door, but the driver has to slide across from the passenger side. Yeah.
It's made easier because there's the gear lever.
Yeah, you've got all the levers down here, so they would get in the way if you're clambering in and out. Oftentimes cars have the spare wheel on the running board here, so you couldn't physically have a door. That's in beautiful condition. The old diver's helmet rear lights. Beautiful nickel plating on those, CAV. Really lovely car, beautifully turned out. There you go, the passenger gets a door. Luxury of luxuries. Centre throttle pedal, well spotted.
That's the brake on the right, isn't it?
Yeah, clutch on the left. Lovely car. No hair mascot on this one. Although I'm guessing it probably has one with it, but on show, oftentimes you just put a plain cap on, so no one feels tempted to walk off with it. Let's keep going over here. Just have a general look, just to give a bit of an idea of what you'll see. That's the Bicester Scramble.
The 300 SLs.
Well, we'll go up here. Let's go and have a look up here. So you've already been round here, haven't you?
This is the Bentley bit.
Yeah, there's always some lovely vintage Bentleys down here, aren't there?
There's a glorious 8 litre.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some pretty special Bentleys along here. Yeah. Fantastic. So we'll try and feature as many of the old cars as we can in the video. Apologies if we miss anyone's out. What's this incredible looking speedster here?
It's the Romano.
The Romano.
It's recently bought by Julian.
Oh, was it? Aero engine. What a thing that is.
Have you looked at it already?
Hello. Look at this magnificent Rolls Royce. The Rudge safety lamp. Oh, the Trip rather. The Trip safety lamp. And there's an engine and a half in there. Lots and lots of beautiful Bentleys, some up and running, some mid-restoration.
Spot the odd one out.
Well, mostly Bentleys, plus one example of a BMW M3.
Yes.
Look at that engine. Stunning Bentley over here. A bit of patina there. Yeah. Wow. That's lovely, isn't it? Not too polished. Not too shiny. Just how we like him. Mighty Mercedes over here. Is this a W108? 250 SE, 6-cylinder car, 1967. And some machines. There's that 6 Series and the 924 with roof rack alongside it. Right, so we need to get over in that direction over the back there now. Renault 5 Turbo, the Turbo 1.
What an interior.
Well, engine in the back. Much rallied Bentley here.
Yeah, there's a curious car here. Still haven't figured out what it is.
What, this one here?
Yeah, it's French.
Oh, wooden wheels, new wooden wheels on it. So what does it say on it?
Oh, Ivan Dutton's got it.
Is it one of his, is it?
There he is.
Oh, there he is, isn't it? So what are we actually looking at here then? The Donnet Zadel.
And what is that?
That's a French car, isn't it? Lovely old French numbers on the front there. Great to see those have survived. Beautifully remade wooden wheels, or wooden spoked wheels. The rims are steel. No brakes on the front. Yeah. Remains of the old pinstriping as well. Just look at that. Beautiful. The old red pinstriping. Series 2 E-Type here. Okay, let's keep going around here. Yeah, it's like a it's like a hot oily smell around it. Lovely lamps as well, aren't they? Actually,
Great, isn't it?
look at those, Paris.
It's crazy to think a guy messes around with Bugattis and
Yeah, definitely. XK, C-type.
Why don't I talk here?
There's always a few interesting things in this workshop. It's just a much modified VW here. E-type, we've got an XJ Coupe at the back there on the Kent Alley wheels. Lovely jubbly, bit of a work in progress on the Series 3, the V12 E-type. You can see the all-alloy 5.3 litre engine there. 4 big Stromberg carburetors feeding that slightly thirsty engine. Fantastic bit of kit that is. Single cam per bank. There's a bit of a Ford hot rod there next to the Lotus Elan. Excellent stuff. Right, let's carry on over here. Lovely C-type, or XK120C as they were originally known. And this is an XK120 itself. Louvered bonnet, leather bonnet strap, looking perfect in the sunshine. Lovely car. Eh? Oh, a Monteverde. God, I haven't seen one of those for years. First time I came across those was in my Monteverde 375, is it? Top trumps.
And in the window is the exact same set of
Is it?
trumps for this.
Oh right, yeah, I used to have that's when I first came across these in the 1970s, Swiss built. Is he? Oh right, excellent.
The one obviously of the
Yeah.
375 showing.
Wow, the Monteverde. A Rolls Royce here in front of it. Yeah, so many cars. Got a Bentley T-Series here, T1. Trying to avoid the music, we don't want any copyright claims, but this Monteverde is just something else. What a treat to see that.
So is it Swedish?
Swiss.
Oh right, okay.
Swiss. What a fantastic shape. The wraparound screen and everything on that. Yeah, oh, there's the top trump card. There it is.
The exact one.
That's my set of top trumps. Still on the shelf at home. And that is where I first came across the name Monteverde, way back in the mid-1970s. But yeah, what a treat to see one in the metal at last, after rather too many years. What a great looking bit of kit that is. Auto box. Yeah, what a handsome machine. Yeah, what a great looking car that is.
This is one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, what a thing. Let's have a look at the back. Monteverde, certainly one of the highlights of our visit here today to Bicester. Pretty wild looking Harley Davidson. Yeah, not much silencing there, is there? Is that what they call a bobber? Something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Various classic German cars over there. We've got a 190 Mercedes and Porsches at the back.
711s today.
Yeah. Let's keep going up here.
You see that Rolls Royce is one of the ones.
Wow.
It was the first car, actually. It was number one.
Was it that one?
It didn't actually.
You sure it's that one?
Was it not?
Not sure.
Oh wait, no, it might be more of a square body actually.
Yeah.
Ugly.
There's a Plymouth, a lowrider Plymouth. What's that? About 1950, something like that.
Twin cam head on
Is it?
it. Still an A-series engine. I was trying to figure it out.
Go over here. What a great place. Right, so we've got a round arch midget. What's that engine then?
Not that one.
Not sure what that is. Well, it's
I was talking to the guy and he said it was a BMW head, but still on the A-series.
is that an A-series bottom end,
Yeah.
is it?
So it's a BMW twin cam light. Apparently.
I bet that goes alright. Little Balila, the Fiat here. Such a sweet looking little
I
car.
think I hear that. Do you know that Rolls Royce with no body?
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
I just heard that.
Did you? It's a little sweetie that is. MGC GT. The Porsche RSR. So what's this, a 140 or 150, isn't it? The 150 with the higher door lines, yeah.
Looks really stealthy and black.
Yeah, certainly does. With a little Julia on the end here. You're fond of those, aren't you? You like those, don't you?
Yeah, so
So many cars, a Honda S2000, 3 Series E46 Coupe, the Fiat 500. This is where Morgan are based, I think. Okay. None the wiser.
I think it's a Neo EP9 Chinese electric thing.
Oh right, nice. Nice. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking for the old stuff, because that's what we're here for, really. Let's have a look down here. The Datsun 140J. Wowzers. Oh, those used to be everywhere at one time.
I think that could be sported up though, 'cause it looks really good.
Yes.
Lowered,
You don't
BBS
see many
wheels
of them now, do you? You don't see many of these around now.
original.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. The 140J. Of course, at this time they were badged as Datsuns. They were sold as Datsuns, but they had Nissan badging was starting to appear. 'Cause I think Nissan was the design arm of Datsun or something like that. And then it sort of just took over as being the main name that was used.
Century.
Yeah, it's a Century.
There's a lovely Cosmo just beyond this.
Pretty bonkers car. Honda NSX. Oh, the Mazda Cosmo. Good grief. So many rarities here today. What an incredible thing that is. The rotary engined Mazda Cosmo, the first rotary power car that Mazda came up with.
These are quick cars though.
Were they?
They're surprisingly quick. Rotary.
Yeah, rotary engine. The old clap hand wipers. What a... Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they are. The old houndstooth type trim. Yeah. A Nardi steering wheel. How elegant is that? Almost, you could almost pass that off as being an Italian car in there.
I think the steering wheel is probably a sport.
Yeah.
X5 steering wheel.
Yeah, what a great looking.
Nardi Torino.
Yeah. No prizes for guessing what we're looking at here. A beautiful Morris 1000.
Yeah, boy. Just come on up the side of the car.
Ah, here we go. Flying Scotsman 2024 entrant. If you've not seen the video yet, I did, of the Flying Scotsman as they completed 2 stages on the Alton Park circuit, and please check that video out because this car was a very surprise arrival. And this used to belong to Sterling Moss's parents.
Yeah, it was in the Goodwood Revival tribute.
It was,
to
wasn't
Sterling
it?
Moss.
It was, yes, we saw it at the Revival years ago. They used to tow his first racing car, presumably one of his little 500cc Coopers, behind this magnificent Rolls Royce. But yeah, we saw this one on its door handles taking part in the Flying Scotsman just a couple of weekends ago.
Let's have a look at this little Austin A35. It's
So what's the story with that A35 then?
read the first few lines and the information's for sale.
Oh, it's for sale, is it? 2-door A35.
Yeah, but read the sort of first couple of lines.
Body restored, 1330 engine, Kent 285, Kent big valve head, Metro turbo carburettor, LCB 4250. Disc brakes with servo.
This is a proper sleeper, isn't it?
Yeah, that would go well, wouldn't it? Yeah, from the outside it looks like your regular 948.
It's like an 803 or 948.
Yeah, but it's got 1330 in it.
So that's like even bigger than like the Cooper S Minis or the Midgets.
Yeah,
And it's
that
been
would.
modified as well.
That would be a bit of a hoot.
That's actually one of my favourite cars.
That's actually pretty clean, isn't it? 4250.
I really like that.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
I would so drive that.
I bet you would, yes.
I wonder what sort of power would make, like 100 or so.
I don't know.
That'd be a lot in that, wouldn't it? Maybe.
Well, that A35 van was 94 brake horsepower, the one we were looking at before. So this must be at least that. This must be at least that, mustn't it? The body actually looks really straight on it. 1330 A series engine. Yeah, that's a pretty cool little car. Right, so let's carry on. And then later we'll go and have a look at the public car park and see what cars are parked up over there. Got a B-Reg Capri here. XR2 Mark 1. Peugeot 205 XS. Bonnet raised on the XR2.
good looking car, this.
Another M5. Do you see the wagon over the other side?
That's cool.
Yeah, the M5 estate. That's pretty cool. What have we got here? Ferraris, Pontiac GTO, 7 Series Beamer, Lotus Esprit Scimitar, the GTE, the SE6 era of Reliant Scimitar, 911, Alpha 1750, North Wales registered, an MG Magnet. I like those. There's a little Moggy 1000 convertible. Ooh, Wolseley 1500, a fairly early example of the Wolseley 1500 with the smaller lights.
No indicators, isn't it?
No, for the later ones I'd like the Moggy 1000 indicator and
Yeah, the later ones are
yeah.
indicators.
It's a super clean car, Wolseley.
Nice camera.
Eh?
Just come out the
Cool,
back.
240Z.
Look at the front bumper. I think it's a Nismo front bumper.
Was it? Oh, yeah, that's quite a that's an interesting front end on that, isn't
I
it?
saw it on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure that's a Nismo, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, right.
Customization, I think. You know Nismo.
I've heard of it, yeah. A Fiat Coupe and a Maserati. I do love these Maseratis.
3.5 litre V8 or something, these aren't
Yeah.
3500
Beautiful. What a beautiful looking car that is.
Sebring actually is called this.
Is it not the GT? No. Is it a Sebring, is it? Right.
I think it's still like the 3500.
Yeah. Left-hand drive. What a car that is. The Maserati Sebring.
Look at the interior though. The interior is stunning.
That is one handsome car. Why can't they make cars that look like that anymore? Whew. What a fantastic bit of kit. Oh, let's keep going. There's an Anglia 105E over there behind the Wolseley 1500. So many cars. Lots of people are looking inside this building. We'll go past the classic Range Rover and the Austin Healey, quite a late example of a 3000. Yeah. So let's go and have a look over here at this fantastic old buildings. I think it's great that these have been repurposed. The old blast house. Historic cars for road and track. Ooh, there's a bit of tasty metal in here. Let's see if we can have a look. So what do we have in here? E-types, lots of Jaguar XKs, and a beautiful 300 SL Coupe.
AC Cobra at the back and an AC8 on the right.
What a fantastic thing the Gullwing Mercedes is. What a wonderful car that is. Used to be one of those, used to live just around the corner from us. One of these and a Roadster version. I think the latter may still be there. But yes, it's still got the fitted luggage in the back as well.
That's the one that was at Coventry, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
I think it was.
Yeah, could well have been.
Can't be that many. You see there's a 300 SL Roadster at the back.
Oh yeah, there is a Roadster at the back, isn't there?
Next to the AC Cobra.
Oh. Yeah, there's a...
And there's an AC8 just all over there.
Yes. It's an insurer's nightmare. I mean, that one's the thick end of £1 million now. Oh, fantastic. We'll continue our stroll around. Model T Speedster. I think we saw this one last time we came, back in January, I think it was. Yep.
You know what? I've never been with
Peugeot 106 Rally. So many cars. Split window VW camper here from 1964. The Fiat 126. Yeah. It's a bonny little machine, isn't it? See why these are popular. As long as you're not in a hurry to get somewhere, What a fantastic old little vehicle, little camper we have there. Yeah. V8 XJ. Don't forget to have a look at the rest of the old classic car channel before you disappear, but after you've watched this video, please. Likes, comments, all that kind of thing really helps the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. It doesn't cost anything. It just helps the channel continue to exist. Let's have a look over here. Let's just have a quick wander up the back here past this TR7 drop head. Beautiful old hangars still hanging on. Fantastic old buildings. Nice little yellow imp over there. Let's keep going over here. Quite a few eateries over here. Some nice smells wafting over, but we will be strong. Keep our mind on the job in hand. Another 6 Series here, 635 CSI, Dino, Shadow 2, Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2 and Nissan 300ZX. Some military reenactment here, World War II reenactment, a couple of jeeps. And over the back here I spotted a little Austin Tilly. These little pickups, similar vehicles were produced by Hillman and Standard, etc. But this is the Austin version based on the Austin 8. What a little beauty that is. Next to the wartime air raid shelter, one of many such structures still here at Bicester, all filled in now. Please do not climb. Yeah, well, we can walk through then, can't we? But yeah, this would have been steps going down into the shelter. So it's the perfect location for this World War II reenactment. Fantastic. Don't tell him, Pike. Right. One of Triumph's finest here, the GT6 Mark III.
It's a non-overdrive car.
Yeah, some were overdrive, some weren't.
Like a low spec.
Yeah, it's just, maybe it was an extra cost option, wasn't it? Got a Elvis on the end and a 504 Cabriolet, the Peugeot 504. These are quite a handsome bit of kit, left-hand drive. You could get the coupes as well as your regular saloons and estates. But these are a really handsome looking car, I think. Looks a bit Farina-ish, doesn't it? Peugeot V6. Oh, great looking car. A little Lotus Elan fixed head alongside. Oh, that's a really nice car. TVR 350i, and more classics as far as the eye can see. A mighty Datsun 200L left-hand drive. The first of the M3 BMWs, all of them are left-hand drive. Flared arches are the giveaway that you're looking at an M3 as opposed to a regular E30 series, 3 Series BMW. Great registration, E30 Evo. Different back end on these, shallower rear window. What's that? Little Honda. that a Jazz? A Honda City Turbo 2. Carry on past the 911 SC. Is this a Lagonda? Looks a bit Lagonda-ish, yeah. Super. Magnificent car. And a wonderfully patinated oily ragger Ford Model A. Not the first Model A we've seen today, and the MG Maestro's on manoeuvres. Maestro manoeuvres. Yeah, indeed. Escort Cabriolet here.
I just like to point out we're going the wrong way for food.
Yes, I know we are, but not to worry. Big old Lambo there. Honda NSX. Got a Ford Hot Rod. Sort of thing will have a flathead V8 in it. Escort RS 2000 Mark 1. Right. Behind the Beetle we have a Crayford Cortina, the convertible version of the Mark II Ford Cortina. Thank you, sir. Right, yeah. Cortina GT, a Morris Bay special. Huh?
You don't want to go any speed bumps in that, would you?
It's quite low, isn't it?
Take the sump off over like the smallest of hills.
Yes.
Now we got up here.
Yeah, you couldn't run that round our way. The Renault Spider. Dodge Charger, the RT. Them pesky Duke boys. P1800 Volvo here on the D. The old B20 or B18. Nice. Proper sticker on the battery. So often you see beautiful engine bays and the battery covered in modern stickers, but not in this case.
Or an electric motor.
Or an electric motor, yes. Well, we don't talk about that.
Did you see?
Oh, look, what's this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Is it a 95, was it originally?
I think it started out as a 95 and they've sort of cut down the back of the roof. So that's the original back. So that's the original back of the roof for the 95 estate.
Brilliant conversion, isn't it?
Yeah, someone's done a great job of that. Yeah, it's nice work.
Because then you got this kind of road which is like going back, not where it was
Yeah.
originally.
Takes me back to the 95 van that I used to have, the two-stroke Saab van, the only one in the world. Yeah, that's now over in America in the Saab collection over there. But yeah, how cool is that? Next to a Volvo 480 ES. Corvette Stingray 1967, according to the plate. Classic Fiat Panda action. And Marina Estate with twin SU conversion. Nice assortment of luggage on the top. The windbreaker, period 1970s windbreaker. And who remembers those beaded seat covers? The Vision in orange. MX-5 with Renault 5 parked alongside. Renault 5 is for sale. Offers over 20,000. Got an Alphaholics Alpha here. We'll just have a quick look around as we amble back in the general direction of our little yellow MX-5, where an assortment of sandwiches will be found. Nice Ferrari 328 GTB. Let's just go down here. Pretty wild looking Aston here. I don't know what's going on with the wheels and the tyres on that.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow. That's what normal ones look like.
Yes.
Like a hot rod.
There we go, there's our little yellow car hiding away over there on front row. This appears to be American corner, so we'll have a quick look along here. There's something for everyone here, whether you like your Pontiac Trans Ams or the Chevy 3100 station wagon. What an amazing bit of kit that is. Mustang, Camaro SS, Chevrolet Camaro, soft top version. We'll have a proper look around here a little bit later. Plymouth Fury. Mustang is preparing to leave, so we'll keep out of their way. This public car park is really filled up. It's incredible. It goes right off over into the distance over there. So this will keep us quiet once we've had a sandwich or two. Well, the youthful assistant is already at the car. He's made a start on the supplies, so I better get over there before he polishes them all off. So we're back in the public parking area, the parking area for interesting vehicles, headed up by the lovely Moggy Traveller that we saw right at the beginning of this video. So let's have a bit of a scoot round. There's a great little silver kit car for sale here. That looks like a lot of fun. 4,950. I get that. I guess that is probably, yeah, it's a really cool little car. My youthful assistant topping up on his eatings. So we'll carry on down here. Just try and feature as many of the incredible cars that are here today in the car park area. Got a grey 190e Mercedes here. Looks very original. An early Porsche 928. Car of the year, 1978, was it, I think? MGC GT, the 3-litre MGC. Beautiful car in that very pale yellow. We've got another one alongside it for sale, £21,000. What a bit of kit that is. That is a lot of engine. Triple carbs, big straight six. What a lovely car that is. A Mercedes SL, another 107 series. Much modified MG BGT V8.
You know, I mean the electric cars.
911, the Lotus Carlton. Who remembers these bad boys? 178 miles an hour or something. Very appropriate registration number there, LC. Really bonkers car. That is really incredible car. There are also Opel badge versions of those as well. And see a Delta HF Integrale. Lotus VW Corrado. Another Silver Shadow, Silver Shadow 1 with the all chrome bumpers. Little Alpha Saloon. So which model are we looking at here? Is this the Alfetta? Looks a bit like an Alfetta. Yep, Alfetta. Saw one of those rallying a couple of years ago. Mark II VW Golf GTI, a 16 valve car. Not quite sure what we're looking at here. Looks like that body shell. Looks like a Ford of some description. Pretty wild child. Another M3. Beauty in black. Got a cabriolet version of the E30 alongside it. A little Mazda 323 hatchback. Another great example of those cars that I was just looking the other day at a copy of the Northwest Auto Mart, a bit like Auto Trader newspaper from the mid-1980s. And it was packed with cars just like this, but they've nearly all gone, they're almost extinct. A great little midget here, quite an early one. still before they fitted the wind-up windows, so you've got the lift-out side screens just like on the Mark 1 Austin Healey Sprite. And if it's anything like the early Spitfires, the soft top, the frame isn't so much a folding frame, it's a frame that you have to assemble for yourself. So yeah, that's quite an early example of an MG Midget. It's that era of MG Midget, but of course the MG Midget name goes back to the pre-war years. A supercharged G60 version of the VW Corrado here, and a G40 VW Polo. That's a rarity. Okay, let's keep going down here. GTV, Alfa Romeo, could be a V6, could be a 4-cylinder. There's this little Fiat Seicento, I think. Ford Fiesta on a J plate. Let's carry on. So already a few gaps in the field. Series 3 Land Rover alongside Golf GTI Mark II. A classic Range Rover, probably a 3.5 litre V8. Most of them, I think, were. A cabriolet version of an M3. Really nice Porsche there. Always loads of Porsches here. Look at this B. Wowzers, look at the wheels on that. A racy fuel filler there. A Rover 3500S. A 3.5 litre V8 with manual gearbox. That was the 3.5S. I can hear a little aeroplane pottering over somewhere overhead. 14250. On this row we have a Mark 1 MX-5 up that end, a couple of Golfs, a really clean 323i BMW, one of the E21 series of cars. Look at this Morris van, usually referred to as the Morris Minor van, but this is the Austin version, the Austin badged version, just to keep all those Austin dealers happy and have something to put into their dealerships, because brand loyalty was still really a thing at the time. So you got the Austin badge and the wavy Austin grille, but otherwise it's exactly the same as the Morris. Another 3 Series here. This is a 320, so it's got the 2 litre straight 6 engine in it. Beautiful sounding engine. We've got a Lancia Fulvia Zagato Sport, Zagato bodied Fulvia. Let's carry on along here. We've got some retro cars here, 3 Series, 205 GTI. Let's keep going, looking for the old ones. Another P6. Jaguar XJR. So that's the original road-going XJR. The later XJRs, the X300 with the straight 6 and the 308 with the V8, were supercharged. But these first XJRs, based on the XJ40, it was mainly a sort of body styling kit and also a braided suspension, that kind of thing. But I think mechanically the engine was pretty much the same. There's no supercharger as standard. A Peugeot Rally, 106 Rally 205 GTI 1.9. Super little TVR there. 911 Targa with the lift-off roof panels. Cortina Estate, Mark V Cortina Crusader, limited edition estate. Citroen DS. The suspension on these was very similar to that on the Citroen SM we were looking at a little bit earlier. Another air-cooled camper, lovely badge on there. Automobile Club, Southern California. Very nice, 2 left-hand drives, so yeah. Presumably the Californian climate was agreeable to the little V-dub. Got an XK120 Roadster. Triumph Vitesse convertible. It's a Mark II, so that's got the 2 litre straight six with the uprated, the improved Rotoflex rear suspension, which helped keep them pointing in the right direction when you were giving it a bit of welly on a country road. Got another Vitesse alongside, this time a saloon. The TR7 drop head there. Another classic Land Rover Series 3. There's a few of those here today.
What's the matter with that boy?
Let's carry on down here past the Mini Light equipped P6 debadged. Okay, MGB Roadster. Datsun, another one of the Z cars. Ferrari. MGB. Beautiful Porsche. Isn't this a bit like the one that Steve McQueen drove at the beginning of the Le Mans film? It looked just like this, with a Fuchs, I think that's how you pronounce it, wheels on it. Someone did tell me in response to a previous video how to pronounce that, but you know, we've got a mid-80s Alpha Spider, beautiful example on a C plate. It's a Mark 1 XR2 drive-by. On the end of the row here, Fiat 128. I think we saw this one, I think we may have seen this one at the NEC Classic Car Show. I could be wrong, but it's certainly one of those in that colour. There's just so much to take in. Don't want to get in this guy's photograph, right? Carry on. There is V-dubs. Let's go and have a look over the back here. Try and do 2 rows at once. Past the 944 S2. The Jaguar Mark II. Mercedes, the W115, I think these were, from the beginning of the 1970s. Gorgeous Austin Healey here. What a beauty that is. Isn't that just lovely? That is just such a swish car. Right, let's carry on down here. Just been speaking to someone who follows the goings on the old classic car channel, so that was nice. 240Z, this lovely pale blue one. What a cracker that is. So many cars. What's that? That Mini looks interesting. It's some chunky wheels on that one. There's a little Morris converter. Is that the one we saw before? Maybe. Not sure. But either way, lovely car. 1.6 Peugeot GTI, and we've got an open top version of the Jensen Healey here. Almost looks Harvest Gold. Very, very similar colour to that on Dad's MGB. Yeah, we'll try and get around here as best we can. So with it being Drive It Day, it could well be that some people come along to this one. It's all pre-booked tickets only, so if you want to come here in future, unless things change, you have to pre-book your tickets. You can't just rock up on the gate and get in. But yeah, with it being Drive It Day, I'm sure there are so many events taking place around the country that I'm sure quite a few people will come here, stay a few hours and then head off to other gatherings and meetings around the countryside, or in particular around here in sunny Oxfordshire. A lovely Volvo estate there. I do like those 240s, really solid. And we've got a Renault Espace, a VW Taro pickup. I can hear a Porsche firing up that Targa that we were looking at before. We've got a pair of 5 Series Beamers here. A Fairway taxi, the modern or the late incarnation of the old Austin FX4, the Mark 1 VW GTI, Ford Escort Mark II, a Maserati over there with an MX-5, a gaggle of Morgans. Let's keep going over here past the Cortina Crusader. White Triumph Stag just leaving over there. Yeah, there's a few gaps since only midday. Heavens, you really have to catch everyone before they disappear. So let's carry on past another Lotus Carlton. Another Datsun Z car. A Passat estate, such as the variety here. Bit of metal moth in the rear arches, but it's still going, that's the main thing. 205 Roland Garros, the limited edition version of the Peugeot 205. Various German classics along there. Mark 1 Golf here. Look at this Beetle. We've got a 1302S there next to the Aston. Well, look how original is that. Beautiful patina on that. What an original paint finish on that beautiful old 6-volt VW Beetle. Quite a few Beetles actually. We've got an MG Magnet in between these two. But that is just, look at that Speedwell. What a cracking little car that is. Original number plates, original registration. Perfect. Absolutely perfect condition. That beautiful Aston Martin DB24, a fixed head version of the 2.4. A much earlier Aston alongside that. Ford Zodiac Mark III, a 1965. Escort Mexico. A Hyundai. Now, what's that? Is that one of the later ponies? I remember the early ponies were quite boxy affairs. That's the X2, the Pony X2 LS. Let's keep going over here. My eye is drawn towards a very faded Volvo Amazon. It's got LED headlights, but otherwise looks pretty much as it would have been built years ago at the Volvo factory in Sweden. 122S, wolf race alloy wheels, very nice. XJS Cabriolet, Volvo estate over there. Let's have a look at this XK with the world's largest racing filler cap. It's almost Aston Martin metallic green, that is. Looks like an early one, possibly an alloy bodied car. The early ones had these separate side lights. On the later XKs it was integrated. On the later steel bodied cars the little side lights were integrated into the wing. Much modified Mark II there. MGB GT, got a Saab 900 Turbo Carlson, one of the Carlson limited editions. So named after Eric Carlson, the rally driver, famed for rallying the old Saabs, the old two-stroke Saabs back in the day. So Saab came out with this tribute edition named after him. Eric Carlson, very famous for driving and rallying the old 96s, and he married Pat Moss, who was Sterling Moss's sister, keeping it in the family with the motor racing pedigree. The Alpha Giulia Saloon. There's an XJSC over the back there, which was the sort of partial cabriolet before they introduced the full cabriolet. We've got an Alpina 6 Series Coupe, a B9 3.5. Beautiful sound from that straight 6, 3.5 litre. Very, very nice too. I suspect we are looking at one of the Singer Retro Mod 911s here, judging by the number plate anyway. The 123 series of Mercedes E-Class estates. Austin Healey 3000 Mark II. Peugeot 309 GTI, Shropshire Reg, up our way. This one originally started out life. Loads of Porsches in the back row over there. Another 205 XS. Ferrari 400 series, automatic. Most of them were. There were a few manual examples of these. Really eye-catching V12 front engine Ferraris. For so many years these were a bit in the doldrums. They weren't super popular compared to some of the perhaps the more sporting types, but I think now they have their loyal followers, and who can blame them? Front engine classic V12. This one's for sale. 50,000 or swap for something interesting. There you go. If you've got something interesting, you could swap it for this Ferrari 400 GT automatic. There's a VW Synchro, a four-wheel drive camper. I assume it's a camper. Looks like one, yeah. So what's that, an Oldsmobile, is it? Yep, the mighty Olds. Named after the founder, Ransom E. Olds, O-L-D-S. That's interesting. It's a license-built, a Steyr license-built version of the Fiat 500. So that's neat to see. That's really cool, that is. Looks like an old Mille Miglia race car. Got a Fiat Abarth 695, a Beetle with aged passenger. And then here, really clean example of a two-door Morris Minor 1000. A 2002 Tii BMW here. Very neat looking cars these are. Quite distinctive with this trim strip that runs all the way around the car. It's quite an early one, that is. The later ones had a much more plasticky front on them. But that's just a super clean example, and a wonderful sort of 70s colour as well. MGA 1600 Mark II fixed head coupe. This is one of the very late ones with a sort of partially recessed grille. Most of the MGs that you see, the MGAs, have the sort of the grille pieces that come right to the front at the bottom here, but this one is recessed in. The B alongside that. Those wheels are off the MGB GT V8. Is this a V8? Oh, it is. That explains those wheels. .944 turbo cabriolet. Another little Spridget there, 1965. There's that Alpina 6 Series. And the Singer modified. Porsche 911 Resto mod. Derby era Bentley. So what's this, about 1934-ish? That would be my guess. But what a glorious machine that is. So this is the era of car where you would buy your chassis and then have your favourite coach builder clothe it with whatever bodywork particularly took your fancy. And if after a few years you didn't like the body, or maybe you decided that open top motoring perhaps wasn't for you, then you could take it to a coach builder and they would rebody it as a saloon or a shooting brake, a station wagon perhaps. So many options when cars had separate chassis back in the pre-war days. This is a magnificent looking machine. A beautiful XK120, this one with the full width wheel spats at the back. You don't see that all that often now. And again, this is a super early example of an XK120 Roadster. Oh, it's a bit chilly today. By gum. Oh, lovely original plate there as well. couple of Audis there. Somewhat lowered 520i BMW on a 1986-ish registration. Got a 318i BMW 4-door here. 1984 that one. 911 Targa, complete with guard bear. Dodge is heading off. And over here, close to the Bicester control tower, we have a huge gathering of classic and later TVRs, Blackpool's finest. A huge assortment of Chimeras, Griffiths, T350s, Cerbras, all sorts of things. So we'll just have a quick general scoot around just to get a bit of a feel for this huge turnout of TVRs that are here. TVRs of all shapes and sizes. And I really miss TVR being around. The cars that they produced, the look of them, the styling was just like nothing else. I think the world is a poorer place for no new TVRs currently being on sale. Whether that situation changes in the future, who knows, but for now we'll make do with this incredible assortment of preserved examples. Of course, Chimeras, we see quite a few of these at the Old Piggery Cafe at the Combermere car meeting that we were at only 7 days ago. We were over there admiring quite a few TVRs and many other marques and sports cars, and a few vintage cars as well. Got Griffiths here. I think these are just lovely looking cars. TVR Griffiths. We've got the S series cars here. Much earlier on, not quite sure which model we're looking at here. I think we've seen this one before somewhere. Where have we seen that? The LEC possibly? The V8S, big hump in the bonnet to clear the V8 engine. And on the end here, 400 SE. And over here, a magnificent two-door Buick Riviera. So gone were the big fins of the 1950s. Gone were the big fins, to replaced with much cleaner lines for the 1960s. Another beautiful example of the 123. This is a 123, the W123 Saloon, the old E-Class Mercedes of the 70s and into the early to mid 1980s. Beautifully built cars, but the funny thing with this kind of car was the specifications, the standard spec was pretty low in terms of equipment. This is a fairly basic model. I'm guessing it's maybe a 200. The slightly more expensive, the 230s and the 280s, I think had like one-piece rectangular headlamps either side. But the slightly smaller engine cars, I believe, had this arrangement. And you can tell it's a fairly base spec. I mean, these weren't cheap cars by any means, but standard equipment was not great. I mean, look, it doesn't even come with a passenger door mirror. I was looking at a mighty S-Class, similar era, 1970s, and despite being, again, an expensive car for the class and the era, that didn't have a passenger door mirror either, optional extra cost. So yeah, beautifully made. But standard equipment could be a little bit on the parsimonious side with some of these German cars, but yeah, beautifully screwed together. Yeah, it's a 250, this one. Over here, staggeringly beautiful Bentley, an S3, I think we're looking at there. There's a Rover P5B saloon behind that. Very nice too. And this is a Lancia Y10. Left-hand drive, and it's badged up as a four-wheel drive. There was a Y10, I think I saw one at the NEC Classic Car Show a few weeks ago, but you hardly ever see them now, and I'm not sure I've ever seen a four-wheel drive, if that's what it is. So this is badged up as the Auto Bianchi Y10, as opposed to the Lancia Y10 that we got here. Yeah, really rare car, special import job, that one. We go past this Skyline and a VW Thing. A Spitfire Mark III. This takes me right back. I could bore you for hours talking about Triumph Spitfire Mark IIIs. Yeah, bit of fettling on the MG. Yeah, we'll keep out of the way. Let's go up this way, past the XL and the VW. Very nice too. A Lotus Elite. I once had a ride around Silverstone in one of these, a race-prepared Lotus Elite, and that was just a lot of fun. Fantastic little cars. Beautiful little car. The brainchild of Colin Chapman. And here, Saab 99L. Two-door saloon, another Quattro alongside that. Mark 1 example of the Ford Consul. Slightly wider wheels, exhaust poking out under the sill, which we approve. Don't mind a few subtle mods. Yeah. Great stuff. Bit of history here. Mark 1 Resto mod, built in 1953. Now it's got a 2-litre Ford Pinto engine. Just pause the video if you want to read the full spec on this particular car. Oh, what a beauty that is. Later interior, super clean, straight bodywork. What a great, very usable old car that is. And by complete contrast, Mark II Escort rally car. Also a Ford, but there the similarities pretty much end. Cossack. Who remembers Roger Clark rallying with Cossack sponsorship back in the 1970s? Got a fan belt squeal on the Mini over there. Beautiful Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint. Left-hand drive. Body by Bertoni. As I've said before, Dad had one of the very first 900 turbo Saabs built in 1979, so I've always had a bit of a soft spot for these. And like that CSL BMW, this again was a real poster car for me in the mid-1980s. The Saab Turbo 16S, the 16-valve, flat-fronted 900 turbo with the body kit and the so distinctive 3-spoke alloy wheels. There goes a little Fiat 128. Mate of mine's dad had one of those. He was more used to driving his automatic BMW, and he went in his 128 down to London, and he went all the way in third gear because he'd forgotten it needed to change up. Beautiful little Riley Elf. How did I miss this one before? Riley Elf Mark III. So at this point in time they'd moved to wind up windows as opposed to the slidey windows. So what do we have over here? Maserati Kamsin. Wowzers. Pretty groovy 70s supercar. Again with the clap hand wipers. Oh, that's a pretty groovy bit of kit. Those wedges were all the rage in the 1970s. Cracking Campagnolo alloy wheels. It's right-hand drive, this one. Oh, what an incredible looking car that is. While over here we have the DeLorean, the DMC-12, powered by the PRV V6 engine, the Peugeot, Renault and Volvo V6 unit, built in Northern Ireland. Fettled by a Lotus during the development phases. Brushed stainless steel coachwork, gull wing doors. Pretty incredible car.
I'd rather be in a 4x4 than be in a sports car. Seeing loads of stuff leaving when we got it.
Well, we're back in the main display area now. Just have a quick look round, quick dash round, just in case we've missed anything.
Jake was having a go at me because I was treating myself to a camp out.
Tucked away over here, the Marcos, the very, very low Marcos. Beautiful midnight blue almost. Tucked away over here, this beautiful Austin Atlantic, the A90 Atlantic Drophead Coupe. And I seem to remember speaking to the owner of this one at the Western Park Classic Car Show, I think, in 2023. What a cracking car this is. Designed very much with the American market in mind, but they didn't really take to it. Yeah, lots of lashings of chrome in the true American style. Many badges, 2 flying A badges on these. Lashings of chrome, just look at that. Huge chrome strips down the centre of the bonnet, just like a contemporary Pontiac perhaps of the late 1940s. Yeah, incredible looking cars. Fixed heads are available as well, complete with wind down rear window no less. And these as well, magnificent, incredible looking drophead coupe. If this is the car I'm thinking of, yes. This one had all the extras, electric windows. You can just see the electric window switch on the inner door panel over there. Electric windows and electric power hood on a British car. That was pretty much unheard of, I would have thought. Did any other British cars of the era, well, early 1950s, have a power hood and power electric windows? I can't think there were too many of them, but yes, this Austin A90 Atlantic came with both. Yes, back looking at this lovely old Daimler again.
It's a 360, I think that's what I
Alvis TD21. I think this is a phase 2 car, if memory serves. I'll have to revisit that Elvis video I did a few months ago, where I went to visit all those Elvises tucked away in the barn. Incredible collection of Elvises. If you haven't seen that one yet, I recommend that one. But this is a beautiful example. What a cracking bit of kit this is. I'm fairly sure this is the second version of the TD21. I think it was the earlier ones had like slotted air intake where those lamps are, where those inner lamps are. If I've got that right, then this has aluminium skinned doors, because the earlier TD21s had steel skinned doors, and they're really long doors, and there's ash framing behind that panel work, and over time the doors can sag a little bit, but this one the gaps are beautiful. Quite a few people with the earlier cars have actually had aluminium skins fitted to their doors just to make them a little bit lighter and give the hinges a bit of an easier time. But that is one handsome motor car. And the de rigueur, beautiful leather driving gloves here in the Ferrari. Nice period Britax safety belts there. Seats in the back. Quite a practical car. Radiomobile mono radio in there. And we were looking at an Elvis fixed head just a moment ago, and here we have a drop head coupe, a slightly later car. But the running gear is pretty much the same as far as I can tell. Yeah. Just have a quick peer in there. Lovely old leather seats. It smells fantastic. So this is the later car with the stacked headlamps. So would this be a TE or a TF21? One of the two. I wonder what the future holds for this magnificent machine. It's probably seen one or two bodies during its time. So you've got the adjustable slats to control the cooling and the engine temps. I wonder what this will be bodied as, if indeed anything, or will it just be left like this? Looks like an aircraft dashboard. I bet those seats could tell a few stories. Look at the size of the rear axle, it looks like something off a truck. That is vast. Yeah, I mean it could have been a hearse or something like that possibly. You know, not all the bodies were particularly... Yeah, not all the bodies were necessarily glamorous on this era of Rolls. And the gigantic, look at the springs on it.
There's some weight in this, isn't there?
Yeah.
The gearbox is lovely.
What an incredible machine. There's the outside gear lever. As the name itself, interestingly, it's not hyphenated, whereas you know, in reality, Rolls and Royce are hyphenated, but for some reason not on the casting there. Yeah, what an incredible...
Decide which line to put it on.
See there you go, there it's hyphenated on the wheel.
Yeah, but do you put it on the top line after the Rolls or the bottom line?
Well, that's it, decisions. We're just sauntering over in the general direction of the Saab 96, but alongside it is this. A BRM spec Lotus Elan Coupe SE. That's a rare version of the famous Lotus Elan. BRM, British Racing Motors, was founded by Raymond Mays, he of ERA fame a little earlier. Lotus, of course, brainchild of Colin Chapman. And this one was supplied by Mike Spence Limited. He was a racing driver of some repute back in the day. I hadn't noticed this sticker in the Saab. I bet this lovely old Morris Minor, I bet that's had a fair bit of attention here today. Probably the grubbiest, most barn-find car in this entire collection of cars here today. And there is the side valve engine, the 918cc engine as fitted to the Series E. Yeah, it's an MM this. Yeah. Bit of TLC required with this one. Amazingly, even though it's, you know, not in the first flush of youth, even down there it actually looks fairly solid, because often that's rotted away. So, you know.
That's that Lotus you could hear.
Oh, is that I can hear the Lotus firing up. Yeah.
It's the ground gun.
Yeah. Like you say, 40 is that little.
I just realised the space.
bit daunting, but once you get going on it, yeah.
There's the old windscreen demister. That thing there, held on with rubber suckers. Clip it to your windscreen, plug it in, and you get some heat wafting up to try and demist your windscreen of a morning.
Is the engine mounted higher in the 1098?
The engine's taller. The engine is taller with the later Moggies. There we go, you can follow the progress of this 52 Moggy here on all these socials on here. So check those out. You've got one of those QR code thingamajigs in the corner there, so that'll take you there. But yeah, great to see, and one day maybe this will run again.
I think that might be a bit tidy up.
Well, there are a few gaps now in the display areas here at Bicester Heritage for the April 2024 Bicester Scramble. So I think we will start. Oh yeah, I was looking at that Lotus before. I think we will start heading off ourselves. There are quite a few gaps now. Some pretty spectacular modern cars if you're into those here.
This is like the Lotus Avija.
Is it? Well, this thing is pretty wild. A Can-Am type car. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but I did hear it before and it did sound phenomenal. So yes, I think it is time to wrap this one up. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. I'll include links to some of the other Bicester videos we've done on previous scrambles, and also Flywheel in 2023, which was a great event, slightly different to this one. Cars being demonstrated out on the track over there, so that was particularly good. And I don't know if Flywheel will happen again. It's certainly not happening this year. The next big event here, I think, is the next scramble, the final scramble of 2024, which is going to be held in October, I believe. So keep an eye out on the website for that. Like I say, entry is by pre-book ticket only, so bear that in mind if you're planning to come along to this. And if you like old cars, new cars, supercars, a bit of anything, it's well worth popping down here. So anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and there'll be many, many more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now.
I'll leave you to get back up on the road. Thank you very much. You know who it is, though.